Hello Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here, and welcome to a brief overview of the First Contact Story Pack and 3.7 patch, not to mention the first episode of the Clandestine Curiosity series. More on the series in a moment, but feel free to skip around using the timestamps in the description. Version 3.7 of Stellaris is here, and with it, a new Story Pack DLC, bringing a plethora of improvements to the process of discovering and interacting with pre-FTL species. It seems as though seeking out new life and new civilizations is back in style. And by the way, how do you feel about cloaking devices? I emphasize brief overview because, aside from being good and ready to dive into gameplay, this is my first new Stellaris series in sync with a new content drop in quite a while. So today we're going to start simple and work back up to deeper coverage of the game naturally and with time. First up, let's talk about the content exclusive to the First Contact DLC. Stellaris has three different types of paid DLC: expansion packs, story packs, and species packs. First Contact is a story pack, which makes it a medium-sized collection of gameplay innovations and improvements primarily aimed at deepening the game's already formidable narrative potential. There are three new origins: Payback, Broken Shackles, and Fear of the Dark, two of which utilize new narrative events featuring the shady and villainous Minimar Specialized Industries, or MSI. The experience of interacting or interfering with pre-FTL civilizations has been given considerably richer narrative complexity, with multiple new stories and events possible as players and pre-FTL civs make various moves in response to their observations of one another. New insight technologies have been added, which reward players for not just immediately annihilating such primitives, and actually observing them, like good old-fashioned aliens. Well, fine, the odd abduction here and there is still permitted, I guess. In addition to the new origins, several new civics have been added which can give player empires some pre-FTL flavor of their own at the start of a game. And last, but yeah, this totally should have been first, all of those observation posts can cloak now, as can your science ships, and your military ships, and all of the above can sneak behind enemy lines. Well, observation posts can't, but you get the idea. As for the free patch content coming with the 3.7 Canis Minor update, even without purchasing the story pack, the user experience of interacting with pre-FTL species has been overhauled, notably with the addition of an awareness system which allows the player to track how aware a primitive planet-bound species is that they're being watched. Pre-sapient species are also now more common, ensuring that the discovery of pre-intelligent and animal life on some planets will factor more frequently into the gameplay experience. A new archaeotechnology branch of society research has been added, allowing players to integrate discoveries from minor artifacts in ways that directly and uniquely improve their economies and ships. Beyond these changes, a series of tweaks have been made to minor artifacts, alien zoos, and vassalization aimed at streamlining these and their related mechanics in light of changes elsewhere with the update and the DLC. And as always, the patch contains a host of AI, performance, and balance improvements from the Custodians team. A link to the full patch notes on Paradox's forums from game director Stephen Muray himself is in the description. But before we discuss the new species I have in store for you, let me as always say thank you to our new nobles and champions. Becoming a member of a channel that you're subscribed to on YouTube is like becoming a subscriber of a channel that you follow on Twitch, and it increases how much your viewership supports the channel by 300 to 400%, at least. Champions at around 2,000%, which is why their names are up in lights right now. The member badges and emotes you've seen around chat and in comments are just the two most visible perks. You can see a full list of them by clicking join, which depending on your device is either right next to the subscribe button or beneath the channel intro on the channel's front page. But whether you're a champion, whether you're a noble, whether you're a long-term subscriber, whether you're a member or not, thank you all so much for the generosity with which you have supported and continue to support the channel over the years. And by the way, that generosity during the last premiere unlocked the slot for this emote, which I added in honor of how things are going to go for the remainder of Heralds of the Dark Nova, so enjoy. And now, allow me to introduce you to the Modian Curators, a brand new empire that I've designed for this playthrough using some of the new civics that I mentioned, or one of the new civics that I mentioned just a moment ago. The Curators are an Irenic monarchy, so they have a queen rather than an elected leader of any kind, which gives them an additional influence from power projection, which power projection has to do with how big your fleet is relative to other factors in the game. They have the Anglers civic as well, because they have an ocean homeworld. Their homeworld is Modia, and Anglers produce additional food and trade value, as well as having pearl divers. I forgot about the pearl divers. So there's Anglers and pearl divers, which produce additional consumer goods and trade value. And this also gives us the aquatic trait, which we'll look at in just a moment. We are eager explorers, so this is one of the new First Contact civics. Note that we are starting at a technological and infrastructural disadvantage, and with 10 fewer pops than normal. So it's kind of a nerfed start. What do we get in response for that? 2 exploration vessels, as opposed to just 1, and an engineering vessel, and they're equipped with subspace drives and limited jump drive abilities, so we won't even be able to use hyperlanes right away. So this kind of gives you the feeling of being a pre-FTL society that has just ascended or is right on the cusp of ascending to faster than light travel. And we do have a sublight speed bonus for the entirety of the game. We have a survey speed bonus and an anomaly discovery chance bonus for the entirety of the game, in addition to an increased chance to discover voidcraft technologies. So we're going to start at a bit of a low point, but then hopefully those bonuses will help us catch up and help us gain and discover more technologies, because you're going to see that the theme of this particular empire is very much discovery of artifacts and archaeotechnology. That's the component of First Contact that we're focusing on with this series, rather than going for like one of the new origins, for example. This is pretty typical of my playthroughs when a new update drops, by the way, is that I'll go for something that partially explores, but also goes in a bit of a different direction from some of the more obvious choices. So we're looking at some of what First Contact is adding while having a lot of elements of gameplay that have already been in the game for a while. We are fanatic xenophiles, so we have 2 available envoys additional on top of what we would normally have, and we gain 100% more insights from observing pre-FTL civilizations, in addition to extra trade value. And we're pacifist, so we will have less empire size from populations and additional stability on all of our worlds. As a species, we're aquatic, intelligent, fleeting, so we don't live for very long, non-adaptive, so habitability is reduced on a number of planets, and we are conservationist, so we don't consume as many consumer goods. Now, what's going on with the lore? I have to admit, I'm really looking forward to this, just for reasons that you'll understand as we dive in. Everything changed when they first heard Barnaby. Echoing in the deep, an enigmatic and insatiably enthusiastic voice sang his shanties, seemingly trapped in his tiny, cube-shaped box at the bottom of the Modian Sea. Claiming to be the aggregated consciousness of missing explorers and adventurers from somewhere entire dimensions away, Barnaby's influence transformed Modian society nearly overnight. That was supposed to be almost, then changed it to nearly. Now it's nearly-ost, but you get the idea. Their profound and innate intelligence, curiosity, and appetite for discovery ignited. Their hearts spurred onward by his prophecies of growing ever stronger. The Aquatics lovingly named their birth star for Barnaby's professed home. Then, eagerly, and together, they set out for the stars beyond. So those are the Modian Curators. This is very much going to be in the spirit of First Contact and in the spirit of Utopia, which Paradox has kind of connected that original expansion pack for Stellaris with the themes of First Contact. We're going back to a bright and hopeful feel with the current content that's being added to the game, and we are just going to be focused on discovering things, but we do have a clandestine edge that we're going to explore as well, as is implied by the title, so we might be a little bit shifty about it, but at the end of the day, I think this is going to be pretty fun. Did I forget to cover... No, we've got everything. I think I was considering using different civics, but then decided to go for eager explorers. So, let's see. As for our settings, we are going to run a large galaxy with 4 spiral arms, although I was tempted to do 3. You know what? Let's do 3. This would be a little bit different. This is not the Milky Way. This is a different galaxy. AI Empires 6 to 12 is fine. No advanced AI starts for now. We're still going to keep that somewhat simple, especially because I am stepping up the difficulty over Heralds. So we'll look at that in just a moment. 1 to 3 Fallen Empires, 1 to 2... Oh, hello. Don't care. That might have been launch related. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so 1x tradition costs, habitable worlds. You see all of these. I don't need to read through every single setting. But this is all fairly default. We are running Captain, though, which is 1 level higher than the Ensign difficulty we're running in Heralds right now. Scaling difficulty and difficulty-adjusted AI modifiers are off. AI aggressiveness is normal. Empire placement completely random. Advanced neighbors off. and then everything else, once again, default down here, including our 2 guaranteed habitable worlds. Now, one thing I'll note, since we have started as an ocean paradise, this is our origin, we have a beautiful ocean world with rich food deposits and bonuses to happiness, pop growth speed, and output, but those 2 guaranteed habitable planets that we just saw on the settings screen are instead going to be frozen worlds. So I really loved this start. I did kind of take a peek at what it looks like before I recorded the series proper, as I'm, well, doing now. So I think you're going to like just how this looks right away. Let's get going. Joy to those who possess the wisdom of acceptance. So goes a common proverb in Modian society. The bounty of life is all around once one learns to appreciate it. In such waters, long have we prospered. But our elders do not sense the stagnation. They confuse our survival instincts with impatience. If we do not seek change, change will find us, and we will be unprepared. We cannot be alone in this vast universe. To keep our home, some of us must resolve to leave it. Our descents into the abyss have proven worthwhile. Yeah, we found Barnaby. Unworldly wreckage, perilously retrieved, precipitated a torrent of technological breakthroughs. At last, we are ready to journey beyond our oceans, to explore, to see, to learn, and to protect. Begin. So, let's begin with our technology choices. As you can see, we have Hyperdrive 1 and Research Labs as starting techs. So, a little bit different from what you're used to seeing. I do want to go for Research Labs right away, not for Hyperdrive, because same basic ethos of decision-making. Like, that is going to be the beginning of our research progress proper, and we need to get those cornerstones in literally as soon as we can. I'm going to go for planetary government here, as tempted as I am to go for the society research boost as one normally might. That's going to be the most important thing. And then, yes, the Corvette we shall have to unlock. Notice that all of those were guaranteed techs, by the way, so even if you don't choose them first, they will pop up again at the beginning of the, well, when you have a choice presented to you again. So we have 2 exploration vessels instead of just 1. Let's first of all, before I unpause here, we're going to see what we can do with the starting resources. Let's build a mining station. That's all 100 of our starting minerals, but we have a couple of 5 mineral asteroids in our starting system. Homestar of Bermuda. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And here we are in the galaxy. Well, that's cool. 3 spiral arms coming out from the center, and we're kind of near the start of one of them. So let's send an explorer this way. They will jump automatically. Notice that the jump range is displayed here. It's kind of reminiscent of old school Stellaris in some ways. And then, of course, we have 3 empty building slots on Modia, but I'm going to wait. Let's take a closer look at these vessels as they jump. There they go. Ooh, Interloper, heed this message. We are the Guardians of Zanam. Your presence in the Aculum system, well, that was fast, is an affront to our creators. Our programming compels us to destroy you. Make your peace with the universe. Go to Red Alert. That's inconvenient. All right, so the Guardians of Zanam are right next to us. So we have a Gaia world literally right around the corner. That's fascinating. Hopefully my research ship will get away, but I very much doubt it, because we don't have the ability to... Yeah. That scientist is most likely going to die. Wow, what a beginning. Holy crap. It's possible that I can... Tell you what, let me stop them. The exploration ship does not have cloaking abilities just yet. God, that's a cool looking ship. So it really can't do anything. We're going to get attacked here. Or maybe we won't. Crown Princess Margaret Belvedere is the new heir to our empire and will take the throne when our current ruler dies. So we're using a really fun naming scheme for the Modian Curators as well, and I think you'll enjoy it. But yeah, until the jump drive is fully recharged in 124 days, it doesn't seem like they're going to attack. So far, they're not moving toward me, which is positive. I was really thinking that would be just the end of that particular ship, but it's not. So we did jump to the Latium system as well. Class M star, gas giant, toxic world, molten world, and then of course my favorite, home star of Bermuda, home planet Modia, which is the very first. Thank you for that, Barnaby. I don't quite have enough minerals to do another station yet, but let's keep looking around and kind of get acquainted. I freaking love... This is, by the way, for those of you curious, it's not luck that we have this beautiful blue nebula around us. This is part of the ocean paradise start. You always get this. I've tried, this is my 4th start in a row with these settings, so now it's even more guaranteed than it was before. This is a just amazing start. So we have the first planet.
Charts updated.
Nice. Latium has been fully surveyed. Let me pause for a moment while we're looking around. Higginbury. And also I can absolutely get that mining station built. So we've got a frozen world very close to Modia, an asteroid belt, and then we have Orville's Creek and Brooklyn out here. So the assumption that we can make, it wasn't stated explicitly in the lore, but the assumption is that wherever Barnaby is getting his data from, we're now using that for all of our names, and not only for our people, but for planets and such. So again, we're going to have fun with that this particular series. All right, so we're done exploring here. I can probably go ahead and jump you... Yeah, let's go here next, and let's see if we can get you the heck out of here. We can. All right, so that was lucky. I genuinely believed I might be about to lose my scout there. But now we can explore the Seoul system. Or maybe it's just pronounced cool. Regardless, we will get to explore it. Again, pre-sapient species are more common as well now, which is pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and build an additional engineering class ship. Oh, nice! We have detected the presence of a pre-FTL, Roin Ring section, on Fear Mathriaz 1 and the Fear Mathriaz system. They have entered the early steam age, and there is clear evidence they are beginning to make use of both vehicles and early factories powered by steam engines. We should consider building an observation post above their world and study them more closely. So they're actually on a ruined ring world, but one of the sections of the ring world is still intact, and it seems as though the civilization is a steam, so that's very steampunky and awesome. I love it. Steampunky, rather. We're going to keep things on speed 1 near the beginning here, just while we're exploring possibilities. We do have that second engineering vessel building, so I probably don't need a third just yet. Contact report, pre-FTLs. The report of the pre-FTL civilization observed by our fleets is received with something as close to exultant jubilation as the academic elite of the Modian Curators will allow themselves to express. Here, finally, is proof that the first tentative Modian steps into the darkness of space were not for naught. They may not be our equals, not yet, and it may be that we will not interact directly with them in our lifetimes, but their mere existence is a beacon of hope in a galaxy that otherwise appears deadened and unmoving. Interesting. The Cybrex. Oh man, it gets better and better. We have recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on Ring Section. Incredibly, this civilization, which apparently referred to itself as the Cybrex, seems to have been made up of machines that were linked together in some sort of collective consciousness. The age of the artifacts indicate they were active some 600,000 years ago, in this portion of the galaxy at least, but we have learned nothing of their exact origins. According to a partial data fragment that our scientists managed to extract from one of the artifacts, the Cybrex at some point launched a crusade to destroy all sapient organic life in the galaxy for reasons unknown. Interesting. So we're going to gain 10 minor artifacts from this, and
situations amended.
Thank you, Barnaby. And we have access to the Cybrex, which is really, really good, because I'm not planning to be, we're pacifists, but I am planning to be very kind of crafty and having a strong defense force, especially if we have Cybrex technology on our side. That could be useful. First contact protocols. A recent encounter with alien lifeforms has reignited and made suddenly more urgent the old debate on how we should approach contacting any potentially intelligent alien civilizations we may meet. While some advocate focusing on establishing friendly relations as quickly as possible by contacting them with a message of peace, others advise caution, pointing out that we cannot know whether alien minds bear ill intent towards us. and that it would be unwise to let them know too much about us before it is necessary. We shall greet the Xeno with open arms. So we're going to set this to proactive, and we will not be able to attack neutral entities. Other empires will find it easier to establish communication with us, and we will gain 50% more influence from each successful first contact process. And first contact discovery will just be 10% faster in general. So that's a win.
We grow ever stronger.
Okay, so yeah, we still don't have quite enough. In 2 months we should, to do a little bit more. Oh, there we go. We do actually have enough. Don't know how that happened. Yeah, let's go ahead and build a research station on Brooklyn. The additional progress should come in handy. We've discovered a new archaeological site in Sewell. Surface scans of Sewell 2 picked up signs that a technological civilization may have been active on the planet, but has since gone extinct. We will need to mount a surface expedition to learn more. Difficulty 4, so we might wait to explore that one. You know what? I'll keep it on speed 1 for now. Let's enjoy ourselves. Very first tradition, we're going to go with discovery, because thematically that just fits. Our curiosity about the universe is what got us this far, and there is so much left to discover. All right, so we now have the Map the Stars Edict, and anomaly research speed will be increased by 20%. Now I should be able... Okay, I need a little bit more Unity to actually launch that. Okay, I've set up the edict to map the stars, so we're going to be even faster. Anomaly discovery chance increased by 10%, survey speed increased by 25%, and ship hyperlane detection range increased by 1. Mind you, we are already, with our current setup, let's take a look here. We already have the anomaly discovery chance boost and survey and sublight speed boosts because of the Eager Explorers Civic.
Space charts updated.
So that's a win. All right, let's go ahead and survey that system now.
We grow ever stronger.
All right, we should very soon be able... There we go.
Space charts updated.
Literally right there. So that's going to be all of the mineral production that we can manage in Bermuda. And Furmathrios has been fully surveyed. So let's survey back. Okay, I'm not in a rush to survey these because I don't feel the need to... I mean, they're within my cluster pretty firmly. So I'm going to go survey this one first, because I want to have systems surveyed that I'm going to need to have surveyed. We're going to build a starbase here in Latium so that we can move towards that pre-FTL civilization and have them under observation. A natural wormhole. We've detected what appears to be a naturally occurring subspace phenomenon on the edge of the CHOCS system. A rift in the very fabric of space-time has formed here, creating a wormhole that, our scientists speculate, may provide a conduit through subspace to another wormhole located somewhere else in our galaxy. Depending on where the second wormhole is located, this could potentially allow ships to travel from one end of the galaxy to the other in a matter of days. Unfortunately, this wormhole, like the vast majority of its kind, is inherently unstable. Any vessels foolish enough to pass through it would be ripped apart in seconds. If it could somehow be stabilized, indeed. Alright, so let's search there. I'm liking this start so far. This is great. Especially given that we have a pre-FTL civilization to study already. In the... I think I did 2 really quick, practice starts with this species. Thank you, Barnaby. And I did not get a pre-FTL civilization that quickly in either one, so that was wonderful. And I was on speed 3 for those, because I really wanted to kind of see what the beginning of a game like this looked like while I was designing this species. Efforts to map the surface of this planet have identified a strange mountain range in the southern hemisphere. This is in CHOCS. It does not appear to have formed naturally. Alright, so somewhere on this planet. Let's leave that be for now. The CHOCS system looks really cool. Pretty similar to our own, actually. Alright, so we are getting stuff done pretty quickly in Bermuda. So that mining station's done. Go ahead and build that last research station, and then we'll do the last mining station. I think the 5... I think that's coming from Bermuda itself. So that's going to be one station that gives us 5 more energy. Always handy when that happens, especially in your home system. Okay. I am seeing, I don't have the minerals to do it right now, but there's an amenities issue on Modia, which is probably creating a little bit of a stability issue as well. Yeah, stability's fine. There's no crime, but we'll need to solve that sooner than later. All right, let's build a starbase in Therimathrios as well, because I really want to take advantage of what we've discovered there. I will go ahead and order an additional engineering vessel. No colonizable worlds yet, though. It's fine, because we have Bermuda. But, well, we do technically have that Gaia world, but we're not going to colonize that for a while. It's going to be a moment.
Ever stronger.
Okay, what would be the best system to survey now? I guess... yeah, this is probably the next best one, because I want to start figuring out what's going on in this direction. So we'll survey there. And then, can you build that mining station, please? Followed by... oh, wait. Can't do that yet. Fine. All right, so that... so it doesn't affect us too much, you've noticed. Like, we aren't able to move back and forth as quickly, but as far as being able to jump back and forth between systems, it's happening pretty straightforwardly and easily. All right, so Genevieve Allenby, our scientist commanding the MCS Revolution, has leveled up. She actually has Mindful and Meticulous. So 2 anomaly discovery chance boosts.
What have we here?
And that's before the existing boosts that we have, which is fantastic. The surface of this asteroid is littered with metallic debris. Most of it appears to originate from starships of many different designs. That is a Cybrex ruin,
We grow
without
ever
a doubt.
stronger.
Okay, so I want you to build that mining station. And then I suppose we should lock down the Regis system. At least the Guardians of Zanam will keep us defended here. But at the same time, they're not along a route of travel. This is kind of off to the side. If anyone were to come in from this direction, they could just go around. So, All right, we finished up here. And now for the all-important step. Okay, we don't quite have enough yet, but we will shortly. Nice. New Ascension perks, or new Tradition, rather. Ascension perk, not quite yet. Yeah, let's go ahead and improve survey speed to boldly go. And also, science ships have a higher chance of disengaging. Not that that matters a whole lot right now, but it may in the future. You never know. Okay, so the Interloper. The charred, broken remnants of what was once a planet, a massive energy surge has detonated this world's core, leaving only drifting slabs of rock. That's really weird. Irreparable damage. An immense band encircling the system's sun. This section of the megastructure appears irreparably damaged. Alright, so, yeah, that section we can just mine, I guess. Do I not have a construction ship here? Where are you? Oh, you're literally right there. Alright, cool. Yeah, because you just built that station. So why don't you build an observation post over Therimathrios 1 now, and we can see what those mechanics look like. I'm so glad that we got that in the first episode, because you can really see what a first contact situation... well, we're not going to have first contact. We're going to observe them. But I want to see what happens. Governor gained trait. Louise Dalrymple gains the Substance Abuser trait, granting the following effects. Leader lifespan minus 20 years. So that governor's not going to last long. We are already fleeting. Alright. Not quite able to build that starbase yet, but we're making progress. We will soon be able to build something on the home world, though. So that's a win. Observation post is almost done. And then we have... there's a good amount that can be mined in Therimathrios as well. Target practice. Our sensors have discovered that the ship remnants on QH-83 got there in a peculiar way. The ships seem to have been intentionally driven straight into the asteroid, probably from light years away, to test the accuracy of the designer's thrusters. As we deep scan the remains, we pick out one ship in particular which seems to have reasonably intact propulsion. So we can say recover that thruster and gain the afterburner technology.
Secured.
Heck yeah. Right, of course, we don't actually get to choose a new research option yet, but that is phenomenal.
Grow ever stronger.
Can I build anything yet? We're getting there. Need hundreds, not just 100, but at least 200, 300, or 400 minerals in order to build on these planets. Okay, so yeah, same basic decision-making process. I'm going to explore in this direction because this seems to be where we're more likely to get interference sooner. Okay, and the observation post has been built. So this is the Kroll civilization. We currently have no cloaking strength at all. We can passively observe them. We can't cloak, obviously, because we don't have the technology yet. Resources provided by our observation missions depend on the infiltration level of our spy network and the pre-FTL civilization being observed. Gain a minor amount of progress to exclusive technologies by studying the utterly alien behavior of our research subject. Diplomacy. So apparently we can't spy on them just yet. Our pre-FTL interference policy does not allow us to conduct espionage here. Interesting. Hang on. Let's see if we can change that. Yeah, see, I kind of want to subtly interfere, you know? That's the whole point. Yeah, let's subtly interfere. We're not going to actively interfere, but we want to learn. That's part of the purpose of First Contact. All right, diplomatic stance. Let's review these policies real quick. It's worth doing. We're expansionist at the moment. Our war philosophy is liberation wars only. Subjugation war terms, benevolent vassalage. Fine. Pre-FTL enlightenment is prohibited. Resettlement is allowed. Initial border status is open. Economic policy is mixed. Trade policy is wealth creation. Robotic workers are allowed for the time being. Debris is researched by default. Refugees are welcome. Population controls are prohibited. Slavery is prohibited. And purging is prohibited. So a very different feel from what is going on in Heralds of the Dark Nova right now and what has been going on in that series. So we have a situation. Observation insights. Our scientists are in the process of gathering new insights from our pre-FTL study subjects. We may discover a new insight technology during a breakthrough event. So we can invest more in favor insights at the cost of observation missions. Okay, so we're already actively collecting them, so we can... Yeah, let's just stick with that for now. And because we've changed that policy, I should now be able to spy. So we're going to put Agnes Underhill in charge of the spy network here. Yes, this is an all-female dolphin race.
A system has been charted.
The names were too good to pass up. Spy network established on pre-FTL world. We have received our first clandestine report from Spy Master Agnes Underhill inside the Kroll civilization. This marks the foundation of our first spy network within a world still unaware of alien life. It is an incredible opportunity to study a pre-FTL society and steer it in a more prosperous direction. We just have to be careful not to reveal our true nature until they're ready. We cannot risk destabilizing their society. Good. What could possibly go wrong? All right. Let's send you down here. We probably have a few new orders we can give, don't we? Yeah. We definitely... Ooh, the interloper can be mined for 10 minerals per turn. Heck yes! Absolutely. And we're very close. One more month and we'll be able to build a starbase in Regis, which also has decent resources. Pretty basic system, but decent resource production. 5 and 6, respectively, energy and minerals.
Anomalous space-time continues.
There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization on this inhospitable rock. Let's leave that be for now, because it is going to take a very long time to research. But we'll take note of it. And now we should be able to build that starbase. Yes, we can. Now, we're mainly needing influence in order to continue building starbases. So we unfortunately, even though we're building minerals up at a fairly rapid pace, we're not going to be able to expand to other systems too quickly. The fact that we already have this much, given that we're a pre-FTL civic, one of the 4 pre-FTL civics, is it's pretty good. It's a good start. 333P956 is home to a number of exquisite impact craters. However, something breaks the visual uniformity in one of the larger craters. It's the Dust Bowl anomaly. Let's have a look. Do we now, Barnaby? Nice. All right, so we've got that set up. Let's get the research station built and the mining station. So yeah, notice I was able to queue both of them up in sequence because we have a much better mineral income already. I'll be curious how long it takes to run into any alien neighbors and really where they are. Alien drag racing. The crater on 333P956 exhibits long, irregular marks imprinted into the relatively soft upper layers of the asteroid. Science officer Charlotte Pitt has recovered some interesting, unexpected wreckage from the edges of the depression. Wheeled vehicles, seemingly personal transports rather than research craft. The crew of the MCS Success speculate, I love the name of that ship, that the crater may once have been used for sport, with some alien species pitting their personal locomotion devices against each other in tests of mechanical strength or speed in near zero G. Vroom, indeed. So that's handy. All right, so this is done, and now I can build those mining stations together. We aren't quite... I mean, if I sat still for a minute without building any new stations, I could definitely build some additional things on Modia. But there's not a pressing need right now. There are still 7 available jobs, stability is fine, there's no crime, even amenities are okay at the moment. So I'll just keep an eye on it, and I'm not in a rush to fill those spots. Habitable World Survey. We now know, without a doubt, that a thriving biosphere is not something unique to Modia. Duh. Both the scientific community and the public at large are eager to learn more about the various forms of alien life found throughout our galaxy. Efforts to catalog the life forms we encounter are already underway, but our xenobiologists have urged us to focus our planetary survey efforts on habitable, life-bearing worlds. A commendable initiative.
There is new information in the situation log.
Okay, so...
Anomalous space-time continuum ahead.
There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization on this inhospitable rock. Leave be for now, but it looks like we're finding all of the various precursor anomalies, which is good. So we need to lock down that section of space, because they seem to be popping up a lot. Yeah. So we'll run on speed 2 for a moment. Let's see if there's anything else that I can do. We've already got everything built here, so why don't we move you to Chalks so we can lock down that system. The fact that we have that wormhole is also a big plus.
Ever stronger.
Nice. Research alternatives +1, scientist level cap +2. I'm going to go ahead and go for this so that I can have the research alternative bonus as soon as possible, because we're probably going to finish some new technologies before long, especially once we finish Corvette, and having an additional choice in my hand that I'm dealt, so to speak, will be quite good. All right, let's go ahead and survey here. Let's watch the science ship jump again, just because we can. How we have limited jump drive capability and not hyperlane capability is beyond me, but, I'll take it. So we have an arid world here. Step back up to speed 2 for a moment, just to keep things moving. All right, we have this archaeological site in... Let's just say it's pronounced cool. We can agree. It's just pronounced cool. I think we can agree on that safely.
A system has been charted. Anomalous space-time continuum ahead.
Another precursor civilization. Leave that be for now. But this is all happening in the direction that I kind of need it to, so I'll take it. I think I would like to survey this system next. I kind of am in the mood. Yeah, let's go ahead and build an additional exploration ship. I want to have a third one going. I think I can afford it. And again, we're explorers. The downside of having 3 science ships in the early game is that there might be a lot of pop-ups, but Stellaris is a narrative game. So we'll just go from story to story and try and keep track of them all. All right, let's see if we can recruit... Oh, nice. An archaeologist. That is literally perfect timing. Difficulty 4. But I could send them to Cool. We can build that starbase, and we can have them start working, which is fantastic. So a lot of things happening, even in just this first episode, that are on theme for the series.
Space charts updated.
And I love it. All right, so can I build a starbase yet? No, I can't, because we're building the one in Cool.
What have we here?
We have detected odd radiation that our science officer demands to investigate. Demands to investigate. Confounding cosmic rays. Leave be for now.
Research complete.
And that is our Corvette. We're going to have to design those in just a moment, but we do have an additional research option. As a result, I think I'm going to go with an increase to... Yeah, we're going to go with 0G refineries as our next tech. And that starbase is 53% done. Let's now go ahead and design our basic Corvettes. So we're going to start with an interceptor class, and we're not going to auto-generate. So let's start with a gunship. It looks like mainly prioritizing lasers. Why? Because they're... It's interesting that it's just prioritizing lasers. I kind of want to put a mass driver on the back, just to mix it up a bit. So let's do that. Subspace drive. Yeah, we'll be able to change that before long. I want to set you to auto upgrade, and this will be the... Ooh, I love it. The Expulsor class. A design of that name already exists for another ship size? That's a lie. Dainty? What are you talking about? See this? It says these exist for another ship size. Alright, we'll go with impetuous. Anyway, let's delete that, and maybe that'll help. Okay, so let's also go ahead and design another type of Corvette. We're not going to do a point defense Corvette, but I will do a brawler. This designed to get up even closer. I'm going to let my destroyers focus on point defense, because that's kind of their role. I did do a lot of reading of, honestly, like the last 3 or 4 years, I think, of dev diaries to get a little bit more prepped for this series. For those of you who don't know this, Herald of the Dark Nova, which is still running right now, pre-recorded in Toxoids, the previous patch. Well, Orion was the previous patch. Toxoids was the previous species pack. That series was... I kind of did it knowing that I hadn't played Stellaris in a while and just going into it, planning to enjoy it and not overthink or over-prepare. So there were a lot of times where I was like, I don't understand what this mechanic is, and I don't know what's happening here. And so now I've done a lot of reading, not hugely in-depth reading, mainly focusing on like looking for changes in mechanics that I knew I needed an explanation for. But one of the things that I picked up is that destroyers, more so than frigates or corvettes, are going to be your platforms for point defense. You can still have point defense corvettes if you want to, but at least per the development materials, destroyers are where you want to have your point defense set up. So let's go ahead and just... Why are you only going with the name Revenge? You see what's happening right now? All right, tell you what. Impetuous and impervious. How about that? Auto upgrade. Save. All right, so 2 very, very similar Corvettes. But that's going to be our start. Defense platforms. I mean, Dragon class is fine. Why is it only randomizing Revenge? That seems bugged. That'll probably get patched out, I would imagine. So if we change it to Dragon, we should be able to save it, like so. There we go. And I'll stick with that design as the basic, and then maybe for a secondary defense platform, which is still set up. So if we went with Dragon, let's go with Leviathan. Or how about, let's go with whale. Slightly more nautical theme. Leviathan can be saved for something a bit more impactful. I like the idea of just having a bunch of weapons of different types. Missiles are once again able to be put into those small slots, which is great. We'll have a pair of lasers, that's fine. And then split the two defensive types. Save. Okay. That's a good enough start on designs. What else can we do in the meantime? Yeah, we're getting this starbase built. Perfect. So I want you to build these mining stations and research stations, and I want you to excavate this site. It's going to take them a while still, because Jane Sackville is only level 1. But she's an archaeologist, so she'll do a bad job faster, basically, and gain some skill in the process. Got to start somewhere, right? Right. Good talk. We're going to stay on speed 2 for just a moment. No real noise yet out in the galactic community.
Space charts updated.
Okay. So let's go ahead and survey. I think I probably had I probably could have been surveying with one of those exploration ships just now. I had one sitting idle. It didn't need to be. Now, part of me is tempted to have a 4th science ship because this one's stuck on the archaeological site, but I'm going to hold back from that. We're going to stick with just the starting group for now. Oh, and I can now build some additional things here. So why don't we do an Autochton monument? It's great to have the normal names for things back again after playing as a lithoid species for so long. I'm a little bit more accustomed to the basic names. I think I'll just go with the Autochton monument for now. I'm tempted to do additional things as well, but we're going to add one building at a time. LR9 Singularity, Strategic Resource discovered. Words. During its survey of LR9 Singularity, the MCS Resolution discovered a previously unknown strategic resource dubbed dark matter, because we found a black hole. This exotic substance has many properties that seemingly defy several natural laws. It could potentially revolutionize the sciences. While we do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, we should seriously consider establishing control over the system for future exploitation. Okie doke. Alright, so should be able to build a starbase there soon-ish. Okay, so we've explored that. Now, yeah, so my current ship is not able to go much farther that direction, but you know what? Let's have you double back. So we have to have them, this is where it gets a little bit harder to move them around, because you have to kind of move them one at a time. Then you have to wait for them to be able to jump again. This is where it's a little bit
research complete.
Harder than it should be. All right, a lump sum of unity, that's probably going to be the first one I go for. And we have additional edicts unlocked as well. Or we can go for the pop growth speed bonus, which would help us overcome our initial pop deficit. Both of those are really positive. I think I'm going to go for genome mapping, because neither of these are guaranteed to come back, and don't get me wrong, I want the extra unity, but because we started with fewer pops than normal, that's going to help me catch up. Strategically, that's the choice that I want to go with. And tell you what, with that, we're approaching the 45-minute mark for this, for just the recording. And of course, we had some time at the beginning, so that means we're closer to the 50-minute mark. We're receiving a weak signal from the surface of this planet. The source appears to be some kind of tracking beacon on Velderom. Nice. Research that. I'm going to stop this one here. This very first episode of our brand new series. First new Stellaris series supporting a new content drop in a very long time. Feels fantastic. Really good start, too. Like, absurdly good start. Whether it continues, I'm going to go ahead and guess it's not going to be as absurdly good as Heralds of the Dark Nova was. Partly because we're playing on Captain difficulty, but also, are we really going to have lightning strike the same place twice in a row? I doubt it. So we'll just have to see what curveballs the game has in store sooner than later this time. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time, or even your second, look for that join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes of this series are going to be coming out every day at 4 p.m. US Eastern Time, with As long as you're watching in the live crowd, Heralds of the Dark Nova will still be coming out every day at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.